This year marks the second time, actually, the party has held the gathering in the Windy City since 1968, and the specter of that summer still haunts the streets of Chicago. During those 4 days and nights, more than 650 people were arrested, more than 1,100 people were injured. And as far as what happened inside of the convention, it was contentious, to say the least. President Lyndon B. Johnson had announced in March that he would not be running for re-election, and that sparked fights among Democrats over who would be the nominee. By the third and fourth nights, there were physical fights among the attendees inside, pushing, shoving, even punches thrown at one another. But what was happening outside would change the course of American history.
Mr. Chairman, most delegates to this convention do not know that thousands of young people are being beaten in the streets of Chicago.
In the summer of 1968, even the breeze emanating from Lake Michigan wasn't enough to escape the heat, the intensity broiling in the city of Chicago. The weight of destabilization suspended over the Democratic National Convention like the scent of the stockyards adjacent to the International Amphitheater where the historic gathering was being held. Just 4 months prior to the start of the DNC, on August 26, 1968, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis. His death sparking riots in more than 100 cities across the United States, including in Chicago.
That you're unable to take care of the situation, and therefore you ask for federal troops.
Just 2 months later, Robert Kennedy was assassinated in Los Angeles. He had been running for the Democratic presidential nomination. Leading up to the convention, brutal images from the war in Vietnam were seared in the minds of those watching television from coast to coast.
Surely the whole Vietnam situation looks pretty bad today.
And the pain of racial inequality ignited to fury. On the morning of August 25, 1968, a rainbow of young faces came together like a mosaic, the group holding what it called a festival of life in a North Chicago neighborhood to protest the Vietnam War, racial inequality, and poverty. Hours later, a tense tone was set for the rest of the week, as the area became a bloody battleground when demonstrators ignored police orders to leave. The violence continuing for 4 days and nights, with the New York Times reporting that the National Guard had been given shoot-to-kill orders if the protesters did not obey them.
Kill! Come on! I'm over here!
The events would later be called a police riot, as the National Guard and Chicago police were a flammable mix. With not many in Chicago able to escape the heat, emotional intensity, and brutal unrest of that summer.
We are beginning to fight for our own survival.
And historians now say that the rise in television impacted the tensions during that era. The main networks had just transitioned to near total color programming, which meant that the angst, the violence of that year was on display for millions to see and likely impacted the political outcomes. For perspective, 90 million people, nearly half of the American population at the time, watched the police riot unfolding on the streets of Chicago.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.